Best the wire.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 79 of the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Michael Marcanio, and I'm here with your boy T, also known as Tyler Revelis. We're going waiver wire today, boys. We're going into Week 14, first week of playoffs. Hopefully you're in it. Hopefully you're in the playoffs. Hopefully,
Playoffs. Playoffs.
Bro, that's good.
Playoffs.
Just keep that going. But yeah, hopefully you made it. If you need help with your starting lineup or who to possibly add on this waiver wire, there's actually, there's not a lot of players. Your team should be pretty set going into playoffs, but there is some hidden gems, I think, this week. A couple different injuries and whatnot. So we'll get into that. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you don't have time for the entire episode, go ahead and check the table of contents down below in the description, and you can navigate through the episode like that. So you're in need of a running back, you can skip to the running backs part of the episode, see who we're talking about there, and get a quicker diagnosis on how to fix your team. Quicker, it's like almost like Spark Notes for podcasting. Anyways, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, ask us questions down in the comments down below if you need anything from us. But yeah, so that being said, let's get into it, baby.
Best the wire. Best the wire.
Let's pad that wire.
Best the wire. Best the wire.
So we got Week 14 waiver wire here. Like we always do, we'll start off quarterbacks, then go to running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses.
Before, how many leagues did you make the playoffs in?
I missed it in one.
So what? Because you were in a lot of leagues.
I missed it in the FFPC, but that started like 2 weeks ago. But
so 6 out of 7?
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just lied to us on live can't
No. I missed the FFPC.
Oh
one.
no, yeah, you said you missed
I'm in
one.
6 leagues total.
But you said 4 out of 6.
But
so.
as of right now,
Oh,
yeah.
so you're a liar.
Okay, dude, I missed. Dude, don't even get me started.
I'm getting you started, dude. I'm opening that fucking door.
Well, okay. Should we do it before?
Yeah, dude. All right. So you made it 4 out of 6. I made 3 out of 4. I made 3 out of 4.
Okay, you had less leagues to focus on, or less leagues to.
It is a lot. I think the most I've ever done in 1 year was 7. I want to say 7 leagues, and it does get a lot.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of you're rooting for certain players, but then they're going against you, and it's just like. When you end
up focusing on like three of them at a time. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously you have like that one league, that just winning means more than the money or the buy-in.
Yeah.
It's just like the bragging rights. It's like you want that belt, you want that trophy for that certain league, But yeah, I've did 7 before, and it got to the point where I'm not even checking the scores. Like I'm not checking the scores as the games are going on because it's like I'm just tormenting myself. I literally wouldn't check the scores until after the afternoon games.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, let me see where I'm at.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes like I'm looking at all like how the players finish, and sometimes I'll be like, the Colts won that game though, right? I like forget because I just see that their team went off or whatever. Phillip Rivers threw for a certain amount or whatever it is, and then I realize like, oh shit, they lost that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that. It definitely.
Yeah.
I try not to do that though. I try and be. Because it is a pain. It is like, you don't want to be that guy at the bar that's like rooting for the fantasy players out loud.
Yeah.
Or
like our buddy Justin, who'll be like, man, I really need him. Or who else said it? Man, I really need him to tear his ACL.
Dre
right now.
said that.
It's like, bro, chill.
He was like, no, high ankle sprain. I'm like, bro, either way, like, stop. Yeah, no, I do cringe when people are like, I got him on my fantasy, like out loud. Don't say if you're listening to this and you go to the bar, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy talking about your fantasy team at the bar. I feel like it irks a lot of people.
I mean, it's okay. I just feel like like I said, don't be like, oh man, I hope he gets hurt. Like that's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I get more annoyed where it's like when people are just. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so you made it in 4-6. I made it in 3 or 4. But me and you, we had a nice little. We were down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, dude.
It was
You fucking.
Dude, I'm about to get you so worked up right now, dude.
Well, okay. This is my this is my beef. We started arguing on the podcast before we started recording, and you said, "Wait, just save it," or I said, "Wait,
juicy, dog."
no." Well, I'm not really. I mean, I just get frustrated because you come in and you're like,
well, you got to lay down the foundation. So okay, so we're in a league.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, for instance, one of those leagues where it's like you really want to win this league. You haven't won this league yet.
Yeah,
You've always been really competitive, you know, in every year. I've won it twice out of the first 4 years that we've done it. So
and this is the best year. This has to be the best team I've had in this league
for sure,
hands down. It has to be.
You do have a good team. I'm 100%.
I literally have the most points for out of the entire league by like a fucking almost 100 points. I don't know how much one of the guys has, but anyways, I'm leading in points for. I'm doing really well, and it's just like. I get so frustrated because you come in so like we're in the same division. We're tied.
We have the two best teams by record.
Yeah, we're in the same division.
We were both 10-2. So yeah, we're both in the same division, but only one of us can get the bye, even though we have the best records. It doesn't matter. Me and you, we have the two best records overall, but we're in the same division. So
yeah.
There can be only one.
Yeah, and then so we're going into this last week, and it's just like both of us keep winning. I literally last week I didn't put in a kicker, and I still almost put up 200 points.
And last week I got lucky and won by 0.14.
Yeah.
0.14, not even a full point. 0.14. That's literally 2 yards in terms of like fantasy.
Yeah. So last week I'm like, all right, dude. Well, there's no. After I just literally put up almost 200 points without even like putting in a kicker. I'm a little confident, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get the first seed, like. Because I'm playing a guy his team was not very good at the beginning of the year, whatever.
Yeah, he got hot down the stretch.
And he did. And I just had like a bad week. Antonio Gibson gets hurt. We'll talk about that in a second. But you like come in, you're like, bro, I'm getting the first week bye. It's over, bro. I got the first week bye. And
Is that what I sound like?
You do this like weird thing in your face. I don't know, dude. But I'm just like, how could this guy be so fucking cocky when I'm literally putting up 200 points without a kicker? Like, that's crazy. Like, and then so I end up fucking losing this week because I had a bad week. And I don't know, dude. I just like, I don't even know why I was mad. I just get frustrated because I like look at the points for, and it drives me fucking crazy. Because now I don't have a bye week, and it's just like.
Here's the thing. You're getting mad, but it's like, what am I supposed to do on my end? Like, I have an opportunity to still get the bye. I got lucky to win in week 12 to keep our records even. I beat you heads up. I got lucky on that one too. A couple of your players had some dud games right there. So
yeah,
I actually
like
got
Will
kind of
Fuller
lucky
didn't play for some
yeah,
reason.
like
He must have been shooting up
your
on the
team
side, I
didn't
guess.
put up the points that it was on a consistent basis. So I got kind of lucky against you. But anyways, I kept that close. We were had same record. And all I was saying is that I can still get the bye.
Yeah, but if
you lose and I win, then I catapult you because I would have one more win.
You need all the stars to align.
Even though you have more points than me by 100.
Yeah, I literally over 100. I have like 103 more points than you.
Oh, 103, not just 100.
That's literally that's crazy.
But you're getting mad at me because I was like, "Oh, I guess, bro, it's gonna happen. You're gonna lose this guy.
It's not
I'm
like
gonna win, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the first round bye."
It's like you weren't like, "Oh, dude, it could happen." No, you were like, "Bro, it's done. I got first seed, bro." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense how you're so fucking cocky about it right now because you literally need everything to work out perfectly for you.
Bro, law of attraction, dude. I was putting it into the universe, dude.
Christ.
I was speaking it into existence,
That's so
dude.
ridiculous, dude.
So
was I. So what the fuck? What? The law attracts you more or what?
I mean, I'm more attractive than you. What can I say?
Anyways.
I'm just kidding, dude. You are super attractive with that mustache over there.
So I'm a little bit fucking frustrated. And the Steelers lost. I don't know if you saw. I punched a hole in the wall right here. I got to fix it.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was pretty mad.
I did not. Are you covering it up with something?
No, it's just out. It's right here.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have to go check that out.
You know what? When it happened, yeah, I hurt my hand, dude. Well, when it happened, when we started to when it was coming into the end of the fourth quarter and we started losing, I was thinking to my head, I was like, oh, dude, I really want to punch something so bad. And then
they got you to hit a stud.
And bro, and I remember
you ever see people like they hit the wall and they hit the stud and then they break their hand?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've never done that. Punched a lot of holes in walls. Anyways,
you broke your wrist though hitting something.
Yeah, I punched my stairs. It didn't make any sense.
Why would you punch your stairs?
It is a long story. But listen, so we started losing, and I wanted to punch something, but I was like, no. I like told myself, I was like, no, don't, like, because you're gonna punch a hole in the wall, and then Tyler's gonna be like, what the fuck, and then it's just gonna be like this whole thing, and then yeah, I was watching the game, sitting right here, and I fucking once literally like as soon as Eric Ebron caught it in bounds and the time ran out, I was like, fuck,
and then you're just like,
Hadouken!
yeah, dude.
into the wall.
Dude, it was so bad.
That's pretty gnarly. I didn't notice that when I first walked in here.
Yeah. But I know how to fix that. I used to do that when I was a kid a lot. But anyways, so I guess we can go into
Anyways, dude, moral of the story, don't be mad because I got the 1 seed. Your team's still really good, and I think you're going to just run through that division of the other side. Now we're on opposite sides, so I'll see you on the ship. And then we are also looking at it. It's kind of crazy. So the other guy in the other division, he got the second seed. He gets a first round bye.
It's so stupid.
He scored the least amount of points in his division. So in his whole division of 6 teams at 6-6, he had the 6th most points scored in his 16
Just in his division, in
and
the
he
fourth
got
least.
the number. He won the division and got a bye.
And then I'm over here 10-3, fucking
But you
putting
have
up
the
the
most
most
points.
points,
Yeah.
and I don't get a bye week. It's like, I don't know. Fucking don't put us in the same division anymore.
Listen, dude, you'll
So
be all right,
crazy,
bro.
dude.
All right, you're playing against a
So
guy who's
frustrating.
6-7. He barely snuck in as a 6th seed, and then you're gonna play the guy who has the 4th most. You have the most points scored, right?
Yeah.
So all you got to do is win this week, and then next week you'll play against the guy who has the 4th most points out of 12
It's just
people.
like that Chargers
And you have the
game.
most points scored.
the
So
fuck?
you're in a good spot right there to get to the ship. I'll see you in the ship, and then maybe you can get your revenge. Probably not. I mean, I'm
Can
just
we
better
talk?
than you. but-
What? It's like that Chargers game. Totally fucked. I don't know. Like I have Eckler, and I don't know. Anyways, people don't want to hear my entire. I just want to cry, not cry, but I'm just like so. I don't know. I was just like so close to just like fucking clinching. It.
Hadouken!
Just like Steelers, and it is like that all happened at once. I got mad. I punched a hole. in the
Bro,
wall.
Steelers will be all right. You're still making the championship. It's all right.
Yeah, you're right. I'm the best.
Listen, dude, you could not be in the playoffs right now,
You're right.
and the Steelers could not be in Super Bowl contender. So,
Yeah.
but all
Just
right, I
felt like
digress.
everything was crumbling all at once.
It's all good. Dude. I've been there before, dude.
Pass the wire! Pass the wire!
But let's pad the wire right now. Week 14, you're going into your fantasy playoffs right here. Hopefully, you made it. If not, maybe you should listen to us a little bit more.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't listen enough.
Maybe
Maybe
you
you're
listen-
listening to this the first time and you're like, oh, damn. Oh, these guys really know their shit. I wish I saw them earlier in the
Yeah,
year.
you're like, man, maybe if I would have listened to them, I wouldn't have punched a hole in my wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to listen to this podcast more.
But yeah, week 14 waiver wire, and even if you have a bye, let's say you got that first seed, you got that second seed, you got a bye, and you're thinking like, I don't need to worry because I'm not playing this week. I would still be going on the waiver wire trying to pick up players to improve your team.
At least add 'em.
and then look at your opponent. Look at maybe you already have a good tight end, so you're like, I don't need a tight end, but maybe you have like the number 1 waiver claim. So you go out there and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get Logan Thomas. I'm gonna go get this receiver who's been balling lately, who's on the waiver wire. Maybe Corey Davis. I don't know. T.Y. Hilton's been balling lately. We'll talk on him in a little bit. But look at your opponent's team and just be like, okay, like they need a receiver, they
Yeah.
need a tight end, and if you could block them, don't just let them go get a player because you're not playing this week. I mean, I would rather go grab a player off the waiver wire this week that I know I have a bye, I'm not playing, and I know even in the semifinals in week 15, I'm probably not going to play that player. But I would rather have that
Yeah.
player on my bench go off for 20 points than my opponent pick him up this week, and then now he plays me in the semis, and then that guy goes off for 20 points, and then he's the reason why, or he plays part in why my opponent potentially beats me. So we got to play a little defense right here. Don't sleep on it. Don't
I think that's a great strategy.
if your team's still doing good, you're on the bye, don't sleep on it. Go out and try to block your opponents. Don't let them just grab a free player. Play some defense
Yeah.
if you got to bye.
Definitely. Great strategy. I think that a lot of people can use that. But okay, let's go on to first thing we'll do is quarterbacks. We've talked about it. Is like you should be pretty set in your with your teams. Like if you're streaming a quarterback this late, I mean there's only so many options, but this is probably the only one that I think is going to be like a huge opportunity with it, and it's Kirk Cousins. He's got 3 touchdowns in the past, what was it, 4 to 5 games?
Yeah, 4 of his last 5 games, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you really need to stream one, I'm not
He has
mad at
3 straight games of 300 passing yards.
Yeah.
4 straight games of 290 or more passing yards.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins has just been doing pretty decent these past couple weeks. I've streamed him in a couple leagues. I think I'm going to go for it again this week. But, yeah, I mean, not much else to say, really. But he's just been doing well. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you made the playoffs, you know, normally there's 6 teams that make the playoffs in pretty much every, like, standard league. I feel like if you made the playoffs, you probably have a top 10 quarterback option. You know, you probably have Lamar Jackson still. You probably got Mahomes. You know, maybe you have Herbert. I mean, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, you know, some of these guys right here. So you're probably set at the quarterback position. You know, rarely I feel like you get a team coming into playoffs that isn't set at the quarterback position. But like Mike said, I mean, Kirk Cousins, a nice little option right there if you are searching the waiver wire for a potential streaming option this week.
Kirk, and they're going up against the Buccaneers. I had some early like reports of like being a little bit scared of the cornerback Cordero Patterson. That's right.
Is it Carlton Davis?
Or Carlton Davis, excuse me. Cordero Patterson.
He plays wide receiver, running
back. What the fuck was I thinking?
For the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. I don't know why I get that mixed up. But yeah, Carlton Davis. Thank you. But yeah, I'm not really scared of their pass defense isn't that great. Their run defense is a lot better. We talked about it a little bit off air. So I think game script wise too, you know, this could really work out for Kirk Cousins this week.
I mean, yeah, Thielen's a touchdown machine in the red zone. I think he leads the NFL in touchdowns right now. And then Justin Jefferson, I mean, he's in contention for Rookie of the Year. It's him and Herbert. I mean, Herbert really hurt his chance at the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he still has prime to. If he can kind of have a couple more good games down the stretch, he'll win it. But, I mean, Justin Jefferson is he's been balling.
He seems like the front runner.
You ever just see, like, these, like, on Instagram, I'll follow a couple, like, sports pages, and, like, they'll just show, like, little highlights, and they'll show, like, Justin Jefferson running routes. And, like, man, he just really reminds me of, like, a younger me out there.
Does he?
Running these routes.
Way younger you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Much younger.
Yeah. I'm an old buck.
Okay. Let's go on to running backs. So Antonio Gibson, he's out. Antonio Gibson.
My fingers hurt.
His toe finger.
His foot finger.
His foot fingers hurt.
So Antonio Gibson goes down with turf toe. There's some early reports saying like, oh, he might not play this week. Turf toe is not a chill thing. It's not. It's much more serious than people realize. So don't expect Antonio Gibson to come back this week or possibly the week after. I would really be looking to get some more running back depth if you have Gibson and he's been kind of your guy. That's in one league. I have him, and I'm definitely looking elsewhere to grab somebody else because losing him is pretty big for Washington and just in general.
Yeah, I mean, he was balling. I mean, he came off that 3 touchdown game over Thanksgiving. I mean, my guy's just been balling, Antonio Gibson. So yeah, the worst time to get hurt. Yeah. Especially at the running back position, which is so thin, most times. So yeah, just a tough loss if you have Antonio Gibson. Like you said, I mean, he's not coming back. I mean, we had the medicine man, Dr. Cucci, come on. Yeah. And he talked about it with I can't remember what player specifically, but he said, yeah, it's painful, and I mean, you never really realize that. He's like, oh, it's just a toe, just get out there.
I mean, that's like where all your foot, all your like planting. It's not the other parts of your foot are more like they're like more a little bit more stability, but all your like push and your drive all comes from that like that big toe. Yeah. So So be prepared to have to replace Antonio Gibson. So that being said, we can go on to there's J.D. McKissic. I don't know exactly how what his availability is, but if he is available, definitely go grab J.D. McKissic.
He's 25% available on ESPN, so I mean, he's out there in one of every 4 leagues. I'm not sure in the other leagues what he is, but I mean, yeah, McKissic. I mean, I feel like the way this Washington offense is being ran. He's a big part of it in terms of like, sometimes it's like, these short passes are extensions of the run game. It's like, okay, like you're not handing McKissick the ball off, but you're just dumping it to him in the flats, and that's just another way for him to like run the football, just get him in space. I mean, he had 10 catches last week or a couple days ago, whatever it was, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So would you feel confident with no Gibson? Are you just dialing up McKissick now, like you're like at RB2?
Yeah, I think I would just like lower upside. That's all. But yeah, I mean, McKissick's he's had not bad weeks. So, I think that's been part of their game. They're probably going to use them a little bit differently because they're different guys. But yeah, I mean, if I lost it and get Antonio Gibson and I was able to pick up McKissick, I would play him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, PPR, McKissick's just been balling.
What do you
17 plus points in 3 of his last 5 games. He's pretty much had 10 or more points in 4 of his last 5 games. So this week against the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, we kind of saw what Josh Allen just did to them. And, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Alex Smith is Josh Allen, but I feel like Alex Smith is a good game manager. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He knows where to put the football. Let me get my guy in space. And like you said, he's like trigger happy in terms of like targeting J.D. McKissick.
Yeah. Look at his highlights. Peyton Barber, what do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't be playing Peyton Barber. I mean, he had I think it was 11 carries for 23 yards. He fell into the end zone.
I think he's one of the guys that, it's like we're talking about, is you have to I would put up, if you have depth, if you have room, put him on there just in case someone wants to grab him.
Yeah.
That's in the playoffs with you that needs a running back just in case. Like we're talking about at the beginning of the episode, like don't try and block him maybe, but I wouldn't feel comfortable starting Peyton Barber as like an RB2 or flex option really.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to see 15 carries, give or take, and then he'll probably get some goal line work. So he'll be a touchdown dependent guy. I mean, he's just not explosive. I mean, his yards per carry has not been very good. So I just don't expect him to come out and get, 15 carries, 100 yards. I mean, I'm guessing like 15 carries, 50 yards, and then maybe he falls into the end zone. I don't know how comfortable I would be banking on my playoff hopes with Peyton Barber. It'd be J.D. McKissick for me. Like I said, maybe if you want to stash him, just to kind of block your opponent. I'm not mad at that. But, yeah, it'd be J.D. McKissick, and that's it. I'm
with it. Okay, let's go to the next one here. We got Ty Johnson. New York Jets running back. Frank Gore goes out, right?
He did.
And so
he got concussed pretty early in the game. It was Anthony's start this week. I mean, who's to say? Obviously, Ty Johnson and Frank Gore, they're different guys. But, I mean, Frank Gore has been pretty solid. A guy where I feel like, he doesn't really lose yards when he runs the football. He kind of just, always falls forward. But, I mean, in his relief, if Frank Gore was out there, maybe he puts up similar numbers. I mean, Ty Johnson, 22 rushes, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Gets you 2 catches for 13 yards as well. So, I mean, Gore probably could have been primed to have a pretty good game right here. I mean, he's concussed. I mean, he's old. He's older than me.
He's old.
He's old.
Old balls.
So we'll see if he comes back this week. I mean, you still got LaMichael Pirine. I'm not sure if he's slated to come back off on IR. If he has like one more game, maybe to miss. He had the high ankle sprain. But
I like Ty Johnson going forward. I mean, they're playing the Seahawks. Even Seahawks defense has gotten better, but
Yeah, Seahawks rush defense is pretty good. You attack the Seahawks through the air, but their running game or rush defense is pretty decent actually. But I mean, yeah, if there's no Frank Gore and no LaMichael Pirine, I mean, you're splitting up carries between Ty Johnson and Josh Adams, I think his name is. I wouldn't be mad at going to get Ty Johnson. I'd rather go get Ty Johnson over Peyton Barber.
Yeah, I think I would think so too. I think I would get J.D. McKissick before Ty Johnson though. Yeah. Just because the Jets' offense, it's like, when are they going to be really ahead?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm with it.
But with that being said, it's like, I mean, are you throwing Ty Johnson into your lineup first week of the fantasy playoffs?
I mean, like
are you trusting it? Are you trusting a Jets player?
Right. But like, if your team's super wide receiver heavy, like I'm in that boat. It's like my RB2. I don't know who the fuck I'm gonna play.
Oh, so what you're saying is I should go get Ty Johnson to block you?
I mean, where are you at on the waiver wire, dude?
I'm number 2.
I'm at number 1.
Number 1 in all of Kazakhstan.
Actually, I don't know. But all right, let's move on to the next one here.
About to play some defense on you.
We got wide receivers. Let's go. Kiki Cutie had a big game. Decent game against. Who was that again? Sorry, totally fucking.
Oh, they played the Indianapolis Colts.
That's
but
right.
Kiki Cutie, he was a guy that we touched on it. You said you were saying Brandon Cooks was one of your starts for that game. I mean, Cooks 5 for 65. So if you're in a full point PPR, it gets you 11.5 points on 8 targets. So I mean, the targets were
not
still
sexy, but
not sexy is there.
terrible.
But you got Kiki Cutie, who gets 9 targets. He led the team in targets, I believe. 8 catches, 141 yards. I mean, we saw this before. I mean, and it's kind of just, last man standing. I mean, like Will Fuller suspended. Randall Cobb was on IR. They cut Kenny Stills. So, I mean, someone had to step up in the absence of all these receivers being out. And it was obviously Kiki Cutie coming out, putting up a monster game. And, we said it last week. Go get him now. And maybe you don't play him, but you just stash him. Because if he comes out and has a monster game, he's going to be like the hottest waiver wire pickup, or at the top of the list. Yeah. And look what happened. Now he's at the top of the list. But, hopefully you listened to us and you went out and you grabbed him and you just stashed him.
Do you think this was like a fluke game? Do you think like Brandon Cooks is going to be the guy? And maybe Colts defense is supposed to be good, but I feel like teams just put up a lot of points against them every week.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we hear is that the Houston Texans defense is not good. So they're always going to be like in shootouts. They're always going to be throwing the ball.
Yeah.
And, I said it before. I just feel like he doesn't really throw the ball to the running backs. Obviously, in this game right here, you got Duke Johnson. He gets 6 catches on 6 targets. I think that's probably a season high for him, actually.
Yeah,
and then, I mean,
definitely.
The tight ends, you had Jordan Akins here. He only gets 2 catches on 3 targets. So he's going to throw the ball to the receivers more than the tight ends and the running backs. And obviously, Brandon Cooks is going to get his, 8 targets for Cooks. I think it was a tougher matchup for Cooks because sometimes, he's probably out there and he's probably lining up against Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is kind of having like a comeback or bounce back season for him after a couple down years with the Vikings. I mean, Xavier Rhodes is a big, long, tall, lanky corner.
He's good.
Brandon Cooks is, a smaller receiver. So just that was a tough matchup for Brandon Cooks.
Right.
So it kind of just opens up the door for Kiki Cutie to kind of line up in the slot. That's kind of where he lines up predominantly. So, yeah, I do like Kiki Cutie because I think he's still going to be getting 8 targets a game, give or take, because the Texans are going to be chasing a lot. And, obviously safer in PPR because of how much volume he could see from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. All right, let's go here. We got T.Y. Hilton. Nuts. T.Y. Hilton just said, I'm coming back. I'm coming home. I'm coming. Yeah, dude. Guy's good. He's good. Texans defense, not very good. But Colts playing the Raiders this week. It's actually like decent matchup.
Yeah, I mean, he gets his first 100-yard game of the season. I mean, the last 2 weeks, 81 yards and 110 yards. He gets coming off back-to-back touchdowns after not scoring all year. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, this is one of those guys where like, hey, I'm picking up to block him. I'm blocking my opponent.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like double flex,
I don't know how confident I could feel starting T.Y. I mean, he is coming in. He's been
Hansel is so hot right now.
He's been hot like Hansel at the right time, coming into the playoffs. I mean, the Colts wide receivers, they do have one of the easiest rest of season schedules left for the wide receivers. So I mean, we're kind of all banking on Michael Pittman to be the guy. I mean, Michael Pittman's still been pretty decent. So I mean, do you feel confident in starting T.Y. Hilton, or are you just? I mean, what's your thoughts on it? Because he's burned you. He's burned you for 90% of the year so far. I mean, that's why he's available in 55% of leagues right now.
I like it, man. Like, if what's trending,
Yeah.
The Colts are gonna keep doing what works for them. And so if it's targeting T.Y. Hilton and they're getting in there, then it's like that's what I feel like. Why would you change that? So that being said, like I think that going forward, T.Y. Hilton has he just has more of that upside. He's always been good. It's just like he wasn't getting the targets, and it's like maybe they've established a little bit more of a connection or whatever it is. I mean, in a double flex league, I can totally understand where you're playing. Especially like, we're in one's full point PPR. I would be super down.
Yeah, I mean, he's slated to go against Trayvon Mullen for the
Raiders defense is not
for
good.
the Raiders. Yeah, and he's nothing like you're shying away from right there. It's just, are you willing to drink the coffee or drink the Kool-Aid? I mean, not the coffee. Yeah, I need some coffee. It's what it's pretty.
Yeah.
Still waking up. But, are you willing to drink the Kool-Aid? Because like I said, the last 2 games, I mean, in PPR, 18 and 25
will drink
points.
it.
I mean.
I would drink it this week at least.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Raiders, nothing to be scared of. Week 15 against Houston again, where he just had the monster game. I can't remember what it is. I wish I could looked it up, or I think I remember seeing a stat. But I feel like whenever he plays against Houston, he just plays good. Like certain players, they just play good against certain teams.
Yeah.
I feel like Houston is one of those teams where T.Y. just usually goes off against them. So
yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, I'd go out and grab him. Like I said, even if you don't need a receiver.
And full point PPR, I'm not mad at it at all.
I mean, like I said, maybe if you've already got 3-4 good receivers, and you're just in a single flex league, so you're like, I can only start 3 receivers, and I've got 3 studs. Like, I'm not going to start T.Y. Hilton.
Who would you rather have?
Go get him, though, and block him, because you don't want, T.Y. Hilton putting up 25 points on my bench is better than T.Y. Hilton putting up 25 points against me.
Yeah. Who would you rather have, Marvin Jones or T.Y. Hilton?
I'll go T.Y. Hilton with just how the schedule is.
Yeah.
I still don't trust Stafford. I know Stafford's been Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde this year.
Now that I'm realizing, I mean, these are kind of important waiver wire claims, actually.
Yeah.
But all right.
What about if you're gonna pick up Pittman or T.Y. Hilton? I mean, who out of those guys right there would you?
More experienced wide receiver with more going on. I mean, I'm gonna go with what's trending in the right direction.
Trying to pull up the snap counts real quick for them to see what it's like right now. I mean, you got
Michael Pittman's.
Michael Pittman has out-snapped T.Y. Hilton in 4 straight games.
I will say, I feel like Michael Pittman's not as big of a name, so you might be able to add him versus you might have to put a waiver claim on T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, he's out. Pittman has out-snapped T.Y. in 4 straight games. In terms of targets, I mean, it's been, in the last 4 weeks, 2 Pittman, 2 T.Y. Hilton. I mean, T.Y. had 11 targets last game, but prior to that, 5, 6, 5. So I mean, it's not like he has been just balling. I feel like he kind of just, Michael Pittman on the flip side, 7, 8, 3, 9, 5. So maybe a little bit more consistent. But yeah, both those guys you could probably end up flexing, or as like a third receiver this week.
I like it. Let's go on to Tim Patrick. Just lighting it up. Is this Drew Lock's new favorite guy?
I'm excited next year to see what Drew Lock can do, because I was watching this game on Sunday night against the Chiefs and just seeing the weapons that they've surrounded Drew Lock. I mean, they're all in on Drew Lock and trying to get him.
I don't think Drew Lock's bad. I don't think he's bad.
I don't think he's bad either. I think he's still kind of young, and I think he's still kind of learning. He was banged up for a good chunk of the year. I mean, he still hasn't played a full season. I mean, last year, his rookie year, he played 5 games. I think they went 4-1 down the stretch. And then this year, he's been banged up for most of it. Right. And then, no Cortland Sutton. I mean, you got a couple of players on defense getting banged up. But I think this Broncos team is going to be sneaky good next year.
Noah Fant, fucking.
Yeah, I mean, but they have weapons over here for him. I mean, you got Tim Patrick. You got Jerry Jeudy they drafted. They drafted KJ Hamler. I mean, Cortland Sutton is arguably the best receiver on the team, and he's been on IR since day one.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Noah Fant as well.
They just they're like a lot of teams, a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah. But, I mean, outside of the game against the New Orleans Saints where you had a receiver playing quarterback for them, I mean, he's had 10 or more PPR points in 4 of his last 5 games. Like I said, the only one he got the goose egg, that was when the receiver was playing quarterback and they had 1 completion the whole game.
Yeah, it was like Kendrick Hinton or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, he's kind of playing that Cortland Sutton role, I guess you want to call it, for this offense. I mean, Hamler's kind of like a gadget guy. Judy's a slot guy, I guess you could say, possession guy. So, I mean, if there's a guy where they're stretching the field or looking to the end zone, I feel like it's Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to someone I work with, and he was talking about how he's like, I've been playing Tim Patrick all year. He's like, he's been balling. I mean, let's say since week 3, the first 2 weeks weren't very good, but since week 3, 14, 23, 14, 7, not good. He misses a game. 13, 10, 17, 0, the New Orleans Saints game with the quarterback situation, and then 20. So, I mean, he's been pretty solid.
Pretty consistent.
If you're throwing him in your lineup. I mean, he's wide receiver 36 right now, so top 40 wide receiver.
That's crazy. Do it. Grab him. Grab him if he's there, for sure. And then we'll go into tight ends. We got Logan Thomas absolutely lighting it up. Yeah, I mean, did great. If you can go and get Logan Thomas, I think, with the way the tight ends are going right now, I can't imagine who else you'd want over that.
I mean, yeah, he had a monster game, best game of his career on was it Wednesday or whatever? 9 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown on Wednesday. I mean, on Monday, right? They played on Monday. These games are all over the place.
Bro, you know that the Pittsburgh Steelers have played 3 games in 12 days?
Yeah, that's absurd.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what's been, I
mean, everybody's injured.
That's got to factor into
Bro, we
it,
have
but you can't really practice.
Our kicker's injured.
You can't really practice. You can't
kicker
really,
has a hip
not
injury.
resting, and so
Anyways,
yeah, that was tough card to be dealt for the Steelers. But yeah, I mean, 9 for 98 yards and a touchdown for Logan Thomas against the Steelers. I mean, I don't know. Are you trusting him?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could trust him against the Niners. The Niners got exploited defensively pretty well. That safety or that corner, number 33, I don't remember his name, but I was watching some of that Bills game, and I think that with Gibson out, that allows a lot of opportunity in the passing game too. I think a lot of it will go to McKissick, but I think this team offensively, if they have a corner that it depends on how much Terry McLaurin gets shut down. I think Terry McLaurin got kind of shut down most of the game against Pittsburgh, and that's what led Logan Thomas to have this type of receptions. They had a wide receiver that nobody really knew about, Cam Sims, do really well against Pittsburgh too, who came out of not Steven Sims, Cam Sims, which is a different guy. So I think going into this game, I think it's going to be a competitive game against the Niners. I think Logan Thomas can do well. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's you just want a tight end that's getting involved in the passing game, and he is, and they're getting him involved. You've seen it before where he's thrown touchdowns, so it's he's kind of they're almost like a Taysom Hill in a way for them, in a weird way. Not as much, but he's versatile. He's a good football player, I feel like.
Yeah, former quarterback in college, played at Virginia Tech.
Right. So it's I feel like they can lean on him just to be a playmaker almost. So it's I would rather have that be my tight end than a Kyle Rudolph or somebody, I don't know. It's you're guessing on a lot of these tight ends. When I picked up Anthony Frisker for Jonnu Smith being out, and it's I'd rather have Logan Thomas at this point than him.
I mean, yeah, he's had 4 touchdowns in his last 7 games. I mean, you're just thinking about Alex Smith and how he is as a quarterback. I mean, you've seen Kelsey, put up some monster years with. I mean, obviously with Mahomes, he's put up monster years, but I mean, before that, it was Alex Smith.
Alex Smith had
1,000-yard seasons with Alex Smith. I mean, Vernon Davis back with the Niners, putting up some good numbers. So, I mean, he just looks for the tight end position. I mean.
Yeah, he's not afraid to target.
I would say he's a top 10 tight end. I mean, for definitely. The way he's been playing, and just I feel like he's a red zone option. When they get close into the red zone, I mean, if you see how big he is, I mean, the guy's a big.
I feel every time we talk about tight ends, we're dude, do you see how big he is?
I mean, he is. He's massive. He's a big dude.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm not mad at him. He's available in a good chunk of leagues. I think it was.
He's available in some leagues.
65% of leagues. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely available in some leagues.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe picking him up. But
yeah,
I think I'm gonna pick up Ty.
Me too. Maybe I'll pick up Ty. Maybe I'll pick up Logan Thomas. Maybe Tim Patrick. Just kidding. I think he's not available. But yeah. So let's go into. I forgot. We're going to 2 defenses. Defensive streams for week 14. We got the first one here. These are guys don't drop good defenses. Don't be dropping the Saints defense for these guys. These are if you have been streaming defenses kind of with us maybe throughout the season. Like I streamed the Vikings defense last week. It's like I don't know if I'm going to play the Vikings defense again against the Buccaneers, so I'm going to be streaming one of these teams. So first one here, we got the Seahawks defense, which we've said has gotten better. They're playing the New York Jets. I think it's not a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, last week we said pick them up. You can stream them last week, and you could probably hold on to them for, a couple weeks potentially because they had a nice little schedule going forward. I mean, they give you 11 points in ESPN standard scoring, the Seahawks do against the Giants. Now they're at home against another New York team, the Jets, who are worse than the Giants. So, yeah, I do like the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're more owned than not. Their percentage went up from week 12 to week 13, now week 13 to week 14. So their percentage has been going up. I think people are starting to pick on the trend of them. But, I mean, 11 points, back-to-back games for the Seahawks there. So, yeah, if they're available in your league, I mean, they're more owned than not. But if they are available, good matchup this week against the Jets at home.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's go to our last one here. We got Washington's defense against the Niners. Washington's defense is pretty good. I think they're very underrated. So, yeah, man, if you can I think the Niners, they got Nick Mullins at quarterback. There's a lot of chances for error there. I think they do have a lot more weapons back, but I think there's a possibility of, when a lot of these defensive scoring, it's not like based on how good your defense does, how many third and outs it is. It's how many times the other team makes mistakes, basically. It's like interceptions, fumbles, you know what I mean, safety, shit like that. So, sacks. I mean, their front seven's good. I'm super down to play that against the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, their front seven is good.
Yeah. Chase Young is, like, insane.
Young's
he,
good.
single-handedly stopped us in the red zone when Benny Snell, dove in the air, and he just hit him from the side. It's completely stopped him midair, which is not easy to do. I mean, T.J. Watt did it the drive before, but,
Yeah. They could have, a top 3 defensive line. Like you said, they got Young.
Yeah.
They got Montez Sweat, I think his name is.
Yeah, he's great. He's
Ryan Kerrigan, savvy veteran, still really good, Pro Bowl guy. And they have another guy they drafted out of Alabama. I think his name's like Josh Allen. I could be wrong with that. But, yeah, just some really good defensive players on the line for the Washington football team.
Yeah, so once again, these are defensive streams of these are not – don't be dropping the Saints defense. Don't drop don't be dropping all these other Steelers defense or Ravens defense or whatever. Don't drop those.
Don't drop Dolphins D.
Don't drop
Actually,
you could. I don't care.
I wouldn't drop Dolphins D. I mean, I get it. They're playing against the Chiefs this week, but if you could just hold them and then maybe drop like a 5th receiver.
Do you guys play the Jets?
We do not play the Jets. I'll tell you the Dolphins. But the Dolphins' defense has been, they have the longest consecutive streak for takeaways.
You guys play the Patriots, and then you guys play
We play the Chiefs this week, so obviously you're not playing them this week. But then weeks 15 and 16, I'm not mad at potentially dialing up against Cam Newton. I mean, the first week against Cam Newton, you didn't know what to expect, and we didn't have Xavier Howard that week. So week 15, you could play. I mean, I'm not worried. It's in Miami as well. I'm not worried about Cam Newton, who can barely throw for 100 rushing yards. Passing yards.
I feel like even in that game against the Chargers, it was all like special teams scoring. It wasn't like.
Yeah. I mean, Miami 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games of over 10 points. They've been balling. Miami's defense is balling.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was talking to my brother off air. We just been talking about how 1 year makes a huge difference. And this is why we're talking about you don't go out and draft the defense that was the best defense last year because things change. Free agency, players get hurt, the draft, and things change, drastically. That defense is not the same defense as it once was. I mean, the Jaguars that 1 year were lights out. The next year, not very good. Last year, Patriots defense, lights out. They were like a top 20 score overall.
Yeah.
This year, we were saying so many players opted out to COVID, injuries. They lost players to free agency. Not going to be the same. They haven't. Obviously, they put up a crazy good game against Herbert last week, but still not the same.
It's Bill Belichick, dude. That guy's a fucking animal.
Yeah. Then you get Miami, who last year was one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL. But, they go out and they get so many different players in free agency, in the draft. And it's like now you see him, we get Xavier Howard coming back, being healthy, and you see how good he is. He leads the league in interceptions. I mean, it's just crazy how 1 year things can totally flip-flop. So this is why we always preach on, like, don't draft a defense high.
And next year, Pittsburgh's defense could be worse with the salary cap and all that stuff. So that going, it's very possible. But yeah.
I think we did say, though, if there was one defense you're going to take a shot on, it was the Steelers.
Yeah.
And we hit that one right on the head.
Except for this past week.
Obviously, but I mean, they're still the number 1 defense or top 3 defense. So it's like, if
there's a lot of injuries, but a lot of people should be coming back.
Like, I have the Steelers in pretty much every single league except for maybe one. And it's because it got to the point where it's like, okay, I am going to take a defense kind of early now. And it was the Steelers. Because I was so confident that I knew what they were capable of and how good this team was going to be. That I was like, okay, I'll take a shot on it. I'm not going to go for the Patriots. I'm not going to go for the Ravens or the Saints and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I'd like to think we know what we're fucking doing over here.
Yeah,
but,
bro, we know.
Sometimes you fucking get
know.
the things and the stuff and you put them over there and they boom.
Boom, bada bing, bada boom. You won a championship. All right. Thanks for listening. This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. Quick little episode for you. Hopefully this helped you. I could just cut my lip. I did. Hopefully this helped you be able to pick who you have. I'm like losing my words right here. I cut my lip on the fucking microphone. But yeah, if this is hopefully this helped you establish who to pick up on waiver wire. These are some of the guys that we really like. So hopefully we gave you a little bit of intel on them, and good luck to your playoffs. Your remaining
if you got any
playoffs.
questions, like, hey, I need start sits, obviously, hit us up.
Wherever
we'll
you need
be doing
to.
the matchup breaks down. We'll be doing like a Thursday night game for the Rams and Patriots.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be doing a matchup, kind of just like our, who we like and who we don't like for this week going into the first week of the playoffs. But any questions, hit us up.
Let us know. Thanks for listening. This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast.
Playoffs?
And us big boys are out.